Hi guys, welcome. Today we are going 0 to 1. Yeah, what do I mean? We have not been running our book series. We wanted to start last week, but we had some technical issue. Our production manager that's supposed to be on site wasn't on site. Other production team member that's supposed to be on site too find their way around. It's Sunday, obviously. We rest on weekend. But our book review, we cover books such as any of the books that you see here. We cover books, we talk about it, we review it, we go into details about what the author is trying to imply and where has the conversation changed, what do we find not to so much resonate with us, what does resonate with us with it, and then what we are thinking, we can validate or check more data to verify. Those are things that we are going to break down in our book review session. So obviously we are going 0 to 1. So this is the book you can see. It's a book by Peter Thiel, a billionaire in dollars, and Blake Masters, one of the students in one of the classes. It's a powerful book that you should check out, and today we are reviewing that. So on the note, who is Peter Thiel? Peter Thiel. This is how I verify any information whatsoever. Who is Peter Thiel? Peter Thiel is the co-founder of PayPal, and he go ahead and co-founded Plantier, which is a security software system for checking fraudulent activities and all this across the web. And also he's a huge investor in Founders Fund and TS Foundation and a lot of other ventures. Like you can go and check his portfolio. It's a wonderful guy. He worth about $2.3 billion, and he's early investor in startups such as Facebook, SpaceX, and like. So if you are talking about authority, is this guy has the authority to talk about startups? Because that's what the subtitle says. He said, note on startups and how to build the future. So if you are asking, does this guy have the portfolio or have the profile to talk about startups and building a company? I believe he has the skin in the game. He has the grit. He has everything. He has the portfolio and have the record and the resources to talk about this kind of topic. So now that we established the authority, let's go deep into what the authority has to say. So typically, if you open this book and you do not read the preface, you have done yourself a lot of harm. In the preface, Peter talks about the idea that every moment happens. Means that you have not really got the idea of building things. And then in chapter 1, he talks about the challenge of the future. That the challenge of the future is that we need to create stuff. We need to actually create stuff. We need to go from globalizing ideas, from incrementing on what has done before, to actually creating innovation, making miracles as they point them to be. So it is this making of miracle that can set the new tone or new reality of what the future will be for us. So that's what he is implying, the challenges of the future. Now, the challenge is actually building the next big thing and the next things that will shape the world, you know. And then obviously too, in chapter 2, inside that chapter 1, you hear about the idea of vertical progress and horizontal progress, and why it's so particular about vertical progress. The horizontal progress is the incremental progress, while the vertical progress is the actual going from 0 to 1, bringing out something new, from typewriter to word processor, from what doesn't exist before to Google to whatever. That we need to come up with something new, something huge, something that will change the entire world. And then in chapter 2, Peter Thiel went back to reconceptualize what the 1990s looked like, you know. And he was talking about the idea that a lot of people believe that it was just this era of bubble where there's enough money to pour into the internet that just came about. But that wasn't the case. The internet was almost like the savior of the time. Like that's what everybody believes was supposed to be the future. Because nothing was working. The Berlin Wall, the American soldier showing on cable, the stiff competition between the US and the Japanese, and they are winning the semiconductor war, and a lot of other stuff that were happening. It was a tough time. And it was a tough era for business, for the economy at large, for the government. And people see the opportunity in the internet. They saw, but there was this hubris that I call it, that happened. People who were this hyper invested in this internet thing. They poured all the money in. They were just overestimating, overvaluing, overjudging businesses. Actually, you cannot say the internet boom and bust means that the internet did not work. The internet end up working. Facebook is still a multi-billion platform built on the internet. Amazon is such, Alibaba is such, and all these things. There's a lot of platforms, Flutterwave, Playstack, anything that you call them, you see a lot. Your Fizzly Hour, your whatever, every of the platform, even your Instagram page, all this that is making you money currently work on the internet. So it wasn't like the internet spoiled, or there's this boom that, or this crash that end up spoiling all of the internet. No, the only thing is that the notion of people believe that the internet will be the so-called future and it's about pouring all the money in. It was too kind of early to do that. And then all the solutions that people are pouring the money in and all this over-evaluation that people are doing, where anything does come equals to a solid idea. Once you have a platform, pets.com, you go, you are $1 billion company. This one, people have just believe that once you put it on the internet, and then people are particular about the other that there's nothing that just blow by itself. Why not? It takes an enormous of work before anything makes happen. So, but the belief as at those time is that once you have an internet-enabled business, you are good to go. So that was the whole conversation. So there's this 4 idea that a lot of the scholar, the people that, as he put it, he said the people that learned during this time pick a lot of lessons out of the doom, you know. And then the opposite are more correct. The lessons have become a dogma in the start of world. Those who ignore them are presumed to invite the justice doom visited by them in the great sky. And that these lessons are more of the reactional perspective of people to all these things. And then all this idea of making incremental changes to product is particularly the idea that if you just think of making better pure water, and then you change the nylon, then later you change the shirts, you change the whatever, you change the tag, you change the instead of using blue, you know, almost every pure water use blue to paint the name. You start putting red. That incremental change doesn't build the 0 to 1 effect that we are talking about. And then so that's why it suggests now the 4 of these are more rather, yet the opposite principle are probably more correct. So which is suggesting that it's better to risk boldness than triviality. Like actually going to the market with a bold premise. Like we really want to collect all of the world information so that it can be accessible to everybody. That's Google. You understand? We want to connect people in the world. That's Facebook. Like go into the world with a bold statement line, and then something big you want to change. You know, you want to land everybody in the moon or whatever. By the end of it, you want to make Mars habitable. That's Elon Musk's research. So something more bold rather than something you want to be. You know, instead of doing that, rather going. I want a spacecraft that is reusable and all these things. And I think if you follow Elon Musk's story, you notice something that particular on his own end, where he was very, very particular about the fact that he's not going to have a launch until the team were able to reach a point of reusable rocket. So, and then on the 3rd chapter, he said all companies are different. That all happy companies are different. On the other side, that all poor companies, all bad companies are the same. That they did not escape the competition. But unlike happy companies are different on the fact that they were able to establish monopoly in their own way. You know? So he was talking about the monopoly like that. Even monopolies don't want to accept the fact that they are monopolies so that they will not be haunted. You know? And then the fact that the people that are even in active, perfect competition, as economics suggests, they often lie about the fact that they are a giant in their own league. They are this in their own terrain. So that's why the lie about monopoly, the making clarity between who is a monopoly and who is not is very hard. Since monopolies will not want to accept the fact that they are monopoly, and why the people that are in perfect competition will not want to accept that they have competitors. They want to be believing that they are a king in their own small league. So he was making a lot of context about that, putting Google into perspective. That if you consider the fact that Google as a word is not in the dictionary, and you consider that they own 68% of the search market as at the time of writing, and all these things, I think Google should worth more than that now in time of search market. And then Google wrap itself around being a tech company rather than being a search or being a advertising company. They wrap themselves around that tech ecosystem. That's why they are investing in other products that do not necessarily add to the bottom line. So the monopoly lie, the competitive lie, ruthless people. We were talking about the other that there are a lot of ways that in which you can reach monopoly, whether you are government favorite, you are this, or or you through creative innovation you establish monopoly. So, and he was talking about the idea that competition. The whole premise of capitalism is to establish monopoly, where you can have excess value so that you can do greater things in the world. So in chapter 4, he was talking about the idea of competition, that creative monopoly means new product that benefit everybody and sustainable profit for the creator. So that's the idea of monopoly, creative monopoly. That is, you innovate your way into becoming a company of high value that you can't have a similar power in your space. Google has done great ensuring that we have the best of information at our fingertip. You make a simple Google query and then you have all the information that you want. And then you have the best of the content from the best of the best mind around. And that way, it has established the monopoly for them. So, and he was particular about the fact that there's a lot of arguments here and there about who is a monopoly and who is not, and the idea of competition. Then in chapter 5, he was talking about the last mover advantage, that it's not necessarily to be the first person in the market. Now that's not the thing. That's not the whole thing about building a company. That in actual sense, if you go into the market, even the last, you can go there with a whole massive value. That is 10x of what every other person has been building. Then in that chapter, he mentioned the 4 characteristics of a monopoly. He talked about proprietary technology. That is, you owning a technology that is licensed, patent, or something that allow you to be the only one that is dominating that space. Look at Apple, look at iPhone, look at Mac. That kind of brand have a whole patent along many lanes of product and innovation. You understand? And that secured them a little bit of edge. And then he wasn't particular about only that. Having patents is not enough. Like lean startup and startup land, honestly. Network effect is that your platform is so useful that anytime somebody come on board, it makes the platform more useful. Like anytime somebody joins into your network, your ecosystem, it makes the platform more useful. Anytime a developer joins the Apple development community, then it makes the whole Apple store more useful to everybody that use the Apple gadget, the Apple iPhone, the Apple iPad. Like anytime somebody buy into your product, you understand? Let's say you are running a skincare brand. This is one of the ways you can ensure a network effect. Someone you buy into your product, how can you ensure that when they buy your product, it creates a ripple effect that almost all your family want to use your product? You understand? How do you position yourself to do that? Like anytime somebody actually buy into your product, it becomes. So for me now, if I'm giving you a strategy, I can give you advice of having something like family kit. Like if you have a family kit where it's not only for the husband, if the husband that bought into your ageless glow creams or into your skincare, whatever, then how can that husband share to the family? So that when the family grow addicted and grow hooked into your product, they tend to use it even on their own when they are not there. They tend to look out for your product. If your product is and then that means your product itself has to have a huge value, like something to the market, something substantial. You understand? Something really substantial. And then we still talk about 2 other points, which one of it is branding. So that way they can look out for you out there when there's a family kit that you add to your own brand. Then economies of scale. Economies of scale is a monopoly business gets stronger as it gets bigger. In essence, what economies of scale is particular about is that if you are creating a product where at the end of the day, even when you sell more, there's Facebook, the more there's 2 billion users, you understand? The more profitable business Facebook runs. That is, more advertisers get to reach more people, and then the margin, it's becoming a new Facebook member is almost at 0 cost for Facebook. That's what economy of scale is. How do you ensure that when you are if one of the people that join our strategy session, this is one of the things I tell them, look at your source. How can you get quality stuff from your source so that you can get to do, the more you do your creams, the more you do your soap, the more you do your whatever, the lesser it costs you to produce one. That's one of the few things I try to ensure that my clients understand. How do you ensure that economy of scale, that the more you do, the lesser it costs you, That way, your business become more profitable, and then you have more money to pursue other things. If you heard about tech companies buying clothes, doing this, doing insurance for their clients, these are one of for their staffs. These are one of the things that ensure that makes that happen. They have a huge economy of scale that favor them. Then number 4 is branding. Look at Apple is one of the grandfather of branding. You understand? Branding. You see, there's no way you don't want to attach yourself to the idea of Apple and MacBooks and iPad, and the whole thing stands something we are interested in and all these things. So, and I was talking about building a monopoly. Start small and monopolize. You can start in a small market that you can dominate, that you can now grow and monopolize the market. Scale up your business so that it becomes quite. And then he was suggesting the idea that don't disrupt. That disruptions bring a lot of enemies to your table. So, and the last part, the last will be the first. Of the innovators. Be the last that they cannot take out. Be the last that sees what every other person is missing out and then bring it on board. Chapter 6 was talking about you are not a lottery ticket. This is when you are talking about the idea of definite optimism, indefinite optimism, definite pessimism, and indefinite pessimism, that you don't want to be banking that the future will just be better. A lot of people, I think, they do this. When they are only business, the future is going to be better by itself. No, it doesn't happen. The future don't just become better by itself, and that's one of the worst part. If you are definite or indefinite pessimism, you can still manage yourself. And if you are indefinite optimism, that's the craziest thing. You have optimism, you have a better future, you are ahead of you, without actually doing anything about it. Those are the kind of conversations. So don't bank. And it was debunking the idea of all the big guys saying they got lucky. Was saying that most of it are strategic PR so that they will not appear egoistic. Chapter 7, follow the money. The power law of venture capital, how venture capital runs, investing in business and all this thing. And then it was talking about the idea of power law is that focus on where most of your revenue is coming from. Focus on the strategy that is getting you the most of the return. I used to talk about our business that 80% of our work are free. That is 20% are making more the money. So we get that math right. So he was talking about the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, and then he termed it as the power law, that the world is a power law. That it's not just what you do that matters. You have to think deeply and what will actually matter in there. And then chapter 8 talks about secret. That every business has a secret. Every business has something that is guiding their philosophy, that's ensuring they are running. You understand? The secret. There's a lot of secrets out there that we should not. And they talk about 3 things I really like to pay attention to. That there's what they call the easy, the hard, and the impossible. That is the hard that is secret. What is yet to understand. The world is yet to understand. What valuable companies are people not building? Those are the kind of questions that chapter is trying to have you clarity about. You understand? So the case for secret, why if you look for secret, what to do with secret, how to find secret, that was the question. How to build a company that has a solid foundation, a secret behind them that makes you one. And then chapter 9 was talking about if you are building a startup, foundation really matters. Foundation is the foundation you show that is everything that your business is going to stand on. So we are setting the ground for the kind of business that if you are running a tech, especially for tech business, the kind of thing, ownership, possession. The boss or the boss. Here it was even this working remotely should be avoided. Here it was clear about this is one of the things that we respect so much in our business. We don't allow for remote workers. We all our staff are on site. If we are on site, we are considered not to be a staff here. And then we have to. I had to terminate one of my best designer appointment because he wanted us to be working remotely, just because of that. So you are on the boss or off the boss. So that was the conversation. All this first set interest, startup, whatever, expanding the founding, a lot of wonderful, and then making of mafia. This making of mafia, I've seen that most small business don't build around this line. So you run this retail shop, and everybody that you hire in 3 months you fire them. In that way, you don't have staff that are skin in the game. You don't have staff that believe in the culture, in the future of the company, and which is very, very essential to build up. It takes several months for them to even understand the structure of the business, to know all the prices offhand, and be able. And then when they have reached those masses, that's when they actually take the business to an exponential state. I'm not even talking about a complex business here. I'm talking about your retail business that is selling biscuits and sweets. If you hire somebody there and that person have not even mastered the environment, just make sure that you hire the person that will not steal the money, that has the right culture and that is fitting. Those are the kind of conversation that he was having here, that the company doesn't have a culture, that the company is the culture. And then the idea in chapter 11 is that if you build it, they will come. No, if you build it, they won't come. You have to ensure that there's sales. Sales is everything. And he was talking about the idea that sales is hidden. He categorized sales to complex sales, personal sales, marketing, whatever. You can. We can have that. You can buy in and we can have that. And it was chapter 12, man and machine. That is the future of computing, and all this belief that AI will one day take over the world. He was on the opinion that it's a complementary thing, that computer is going to complement us. Now, if you look at one of the Google AI programs, I was trying to identify ordinary cats. After whatever, it was still around 68 or 98% accuracy or so. That even a 4-year-old kid were able to understand, know the difference between cat and whatever. And then 13, he was highlighting the problem with the green market, all the people that want to build solar and all this thing, and how they fail to identify a lot of the things that he has talked about earlier. Such as the 7 questions you should ask your business. And then chapter 14, which is the very last one, was the founder's paradox. That the founder do have multiple personalities and all these things, and sometimes it may be under the influence of a PR, a stunt, a news media, or whatever. But at the same time, we can't really differentiate which is a core natural personality. And then there's this swing that most founders have this cross: weak, rich, poor, weak, strong characteristics that just mix up to become the founder. So that's it on 0 to 1. You see that I'm going into detail chapter by chapter. So I will really want you to go ahead and read this content. Consume it. I've gone over this book for several times. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 times now I've consumed the book cover to cover. So that's it on 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel with Blake Masters. And if you are not going to regret if you actually get a copy of this book, whether from Amazon, which you put the link to the Amazon down below, or you get it from your local store around, if you like, buy the fake. Either ways. So this is what we'll be reviewing next week, which is The Art About the Out Thing by Ben Orosworth, another billionaire. We're breaking down the different things that he suggested to a company that is just starting out. You understand? So this is also a very, very interesting read. But this week, I want you to go ahead and pick up 0 to 1. 0 to 1. That's what you are reading. Read this one. So that by next week, I'll be doing a review on this. So that's it on our book review. It may be taking this lengthy kind of conversation, but it's essential we break down all these books so that I can know what you are reading. So till we meet next week on our book review session, I remain Timmy Brain, and this is Unscripted.